Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing well today. This is the video for our assignment for next week for April. We're going to talk about multiplying radical expressions. And when we do this, I want you guys to think back to distributive property, right? If we had something on the outside, we multiplied it all the way through. And then you guys just got done doing these things in chapter 9, right, where we did 2x times 3x, 2x times 3. So you'd get 6x squared plus 6x, you'd cross it off, and then you do 1 times 3x, and then 1 times 3. And then you'd combine these two, right? So we distribute, and then this is like multiplying a binomial times binomial. You multiply everything through, and then you combine like terms, and you leave your answer in its simplest form. So we're going to do the same thing with this, all right? So 4 times 3. I'm going to write out everything I distributed, that way you guys can see it. Minus 4 times the square root of 3 plus the square root of 3 times 3 minus square root of 3 times the square root of 3. So we get 12 minus 4 square root of 3 plus 3 square root of 3 minus the square root of 9, because remember 3 times 3 is 9, we leave that on the inside. Next step, again, I'm going to write out each step, so you guys can see. I simplified that to this, right? Because the square root of 9 is 3, we have the subtraction, so we just put, it becomes like minus 3 right here. Now let's combine like terms. We have a 12 minus 3, which is 9. Now we have a negative 4 radical 3 plus 3 radical 3, which gives us minus radical 3. In this case, it's always better just to write your constant first, then minus your radical at the end, okay? So this would be your answer to that problem. All right, here we're going to go ahead and do another one where we only have one value on the outside. Okay, so if you get 7, or the radical 7 on the outside, something like this, times 2 radical 7 plus radical 3, we distribute this to everything. So 2 radical 7 times radical 7 plus radical 3 times radical 7. All right, so if we do 2 on the outside, radical 7 and radical 7 gives us radical 49. Plus 3 times 7 is radical 21. In this case, this is a perfect square, so we can simplify that to 2 times 7, and then add the radical 21. 2 times 7 is 14 plus radical 21. Can't do anything else, so there's your final answer. Okay, and then the last type of problem that you guys will see is a lot like the binomial squared stuff that we did in chapter 9. So if we give you this, 3 radical 5 plus 7, and we tell you to square it, well, that means you're taking 3 radical 5 plus 7 times 3 radical 5 plus 7. Okay, so 3 radical 5 times 3 radical 5, 3 times 3. At this point, hopefully you guys know 3 times 3 would be 9. Or here, we'll write it out, that way you can see it. So 3 times 3 is 9, radical 25. That's if I take this times this, all right? 3 times 7, right, because the 3 and the 7 are 21, radical 5. So we distributed that. Now let's take the 7 to everything. 7 times 3 is 21 radical 5. And 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, 9 times the square root of 25, well, that's 9 times 5, which is 45. Plus, right here in the middle, radicals match, so we can add these two together. 21 and 21 is 42 radical 5s, plus 49. All right, we have 45 and 49, which if we add those together are 94, plus 42 radical 5. All right, so that's how you guys would simplify if you distribute. Okay, Guys, really, when you're doing these things, the only difference is that instead of having a variable here, you just have the radical sign. So just multiply, distribute, do what they're asking you to do, and then simplify where you can. Write everything out and take your time, all right? And you guys will be able to do these. All right, if you have any questions, please email and ask, or we can also, I'm gonna set up a conference next week, probably on Thursday, I'm thinking of next week. That way we can go over some of these concepts after you guys have had a couple of days to look at them. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions and keep working hard.